Hello and welcome to this solo playthrough video of Take the Kingdom by Walnut Games. If you are watching this in March 2021, then this is on Kickstarter right now. If you're not, then please check out walnutgames.co.uk for more information about the game. Now, this is the solo version of Take the Kingdom. So what you will see in the deck is that half of the cards, half of the 108 cards, are marked with this solo logo. So what I've done here is to sort out the 54 solo cards and basically to mix them into 3 decks. One of them contains all of the red attack cards that are marked with solo. One of them contains all the green defense cards. And one of them contains the blue and grey action and penalty cards. So they're sorted into those 3 decks. And what we're going to do in a solo game is to play through 18 very short rounds dealing out those cards. Now I've also set up 3 kingdoms here. So the one nearest the camera is my own, and then these are 2 enemy kingdoms. And the purpose of the solo version is to defeat the 2 enemy kingdoms and basically be the last one standing, or if there's more than one kingdom standing at the end, then the kingdom that has the highest defensive score is the winner. So what happens is you play through 18 rounds, and on each of those rounds you will deal out 1 card from each deck, an attack, a defend and an action card. You then assign one of those cards to each of the 3 kingdoms, including your own, and then you play the card that you've been assigned, starting with yourself and then moving clockwise around the other kingdoms. So in this case, I'll take, we've got Trebuchet, which is a 3 attack, Archers, which is 3 defense, and Disease, which is a penalty card. It means that you can't play any attack cards this turn. So obviously I don't want the Disease card, so I'm going to give that to the kingdom on my right. It doesn't really matter which order we play this in because one is going to cancel out the other, but I think what I will do is I will take the Trebuchet card and I will let my enemy have the Archers card, which they'll play onto their kingdom like this. Now there are rules that for card placement that the enemy kingdoms will follow that are detailed in more detail in the rules. But basically now we play those cards in turn. So I will play my Trebuchet and use it to attack this kingdom, which is because it's a 3 attack, it'll wipe out the hills and the land, and then I'll just lose the spare point for that. The kingdom on the left gets to keep the Archers card, so they're a little bit stronger than they were before. And then the kingdom on the right has a penalty card, which means they're not able to do anything this turn, so that gets discarded. We then go again, and with a different combination of cards. This time we've got a Cannon, which is the strongest attack card in the game. By coincidence, we also have Knights, which is the strongest defensive card in the game, and in fact Conquest, which is probably the best action card in the game. So this is going to be a pretty key round to try and determine who gets what. I think on balance, now bear in mind that I'm going to be playing first, whatever I take, whatever I do, they won't have been able to use their cards yet. So I should say that the enemy kingdoms will always attack you, not each other, which makes it doubly hard. I think what I'm going to do is to take Knights and put it on my castle to give me the maximum defence. I'm going to give Cannon and Conquest out. So I'm going to get hit pretty hard here, but I have managed to shore up my defence first. So I've played my Knights card. This noble will now play their cannon against me, and they have to wipe out the land before they can get as far as the castle. So that will take out one of my land and hills. And then also, the player playing Conquest is going to now use that to steal some of my land and moat. So I'm down to just my castle and my knights. So that's not been a very good round for me. Next up, we've got Battering Ram, Archers, and Sabotage. So in this case, I think I'm going to want to shore up my defences. So I'm going to take the Archers and play them onto my kingdom. I'm going to give Sabotage to the person on my left, and I'm going to give Battering Ram to the person on my right, which means that I place Archers on my kingdom, like that. They will keep Sabotage because this is a blocking attack, so they will use that in response to something that they get coming their way. And then this player on the right playing Battering Ram, they can now do 2 damage to my defences. So because that's not enough to wipe out my Archers, because it's 3 defence and 2 attack, I will tuck the Battering Ram underneath there just to denote that this has taken 2 points of damage. And then it's a fairly quick counter through the round as you go. Now in each of these you're going to be looking for the best combination, what's going to be the least damaging to you, what's going to be the most advantageous to you. And you've also got to decide, because you've got 2 kingdoms against you, you've got to work out whether you want to take a tactic of trying to pick both of them off bit by bit at the same time, whether you want to go all out to try and wipe out one of your opponents while the other one is just getting stronger. These are all things that you're going to have to decide, and it'll be different each time depending on the cards that you draw. So here we've got pikemen, which is just 1 attack. We've got archers, which is 3 defense, and we've got a deny card. Now, ordinarily, I would want to have archers. That's easily the best card of the 3. The trouble is, because I've already got 2 defenses on my castle, I can't actually play archers. So I can take it, but I won't be able to add it to my kingdom. Now, I think in this case, I'm going to have it just to make sure that the other kingdoms can't get to it. We'll then put pikemen on the left and deny on the right. That means he's going to be able to block something that I do to him later on. So I have to discard the archers, unfortunately, because I don't. If I had a land card, I'd be able to play it on there, but because I was wiped out earlier, that's not going to happen. Pikemen is going to come my way, and that's enough to finish off my archers. But on the plus side, that now means I can shore up this this defense later on. And then my enemy kingdom on the right here gets to keep their deny card the next time something's coming at them. So frankly, this isn't going very well at the moment, so I hope I'm going to get a little bit more luck with the future combinations. Let's have a look. So this time we've got soldiers, which is 1 attack. We've got moat, which is 1 defense, and we've got mercy. Now I'm going to have the mercy card. This is a multi-purpose action card that you can use for a whole range of different reasons, including playing it as a bonus land card. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to let the person on my left take a moat, which they're going to have to put onto their castle. And then I'm going to let this other person on the right take soldiers, which they're going to then play against me. So I'm going to sit tight with my mercy card for the time being. I don't want to play it just yet. I'm going to keep that in reserve for when it makes sense, because otherwise I'm going to lose it straight away to the soldiers, because I know that's coming in. Moat has been played onto the castle on the left. Soldiers is going to be played against me, and that will just tuck underneath the knights to show that I've only got 4 points of defense in the knights, not 5. So we go again, and obviously you play through these ones fairly quickly. You'll get a feel for what are the which combinations cancel each other out, which combinations are good ones to go with, and which are going to work, which cards are going to work particularly well for you or particularly damaging for opponents. So basically, you work your way through like this until all 54 of these cards, or all of the 18 rounds, have been played. And then depending on what is left at the end of that, you'll either have 1 or 2 enemy kingdoms. If you've wiped them out during the course of the game, then you win. If they've wiped you out, then obviously you lose. And if you end up with 1 or more kingdoms standing at the end, then you compare your defensive score. So if we were finishing the game now, I would have my castle and my damaged knights. The castle's worth 3. The knights are only worth 4. Sorry, there we bring that down a bit. The castle's worth 3. The knights are only worth 4 because I took 1 point of damage earlier. So that gives me a total of 7 on that kingdom. However, if I look over on the right, I can see they've still got a castle, 3 land, 2 moats and hills, which adds up to a total of 9. So they've already come ahead of me there. And then on the left, we have a castle, a moat, archers, land, and another moat. They've gone moat crazy there. So they also have 9 points. So basically, I've lost that game. If that was the end of the game, I would have lost 9, 9, 7. So I didn't do terribly well on that, largely because I didn't make a great decision when those 3 big cards came up. But basically, that's how you play it. There are 4 different difficulty levels. So the one that I've set up there was at the relatively difficult end of it. But because the nobles that you can play as each has its own asymmetric power, you can combine those and have different setup strengths to be able to give you a different challenge each time. The easy level you should be able to get through in the first 2 or 3 tries. The harder ones, well, let me know if you manage to win on the hard level, because it's pretty tough. So I hope that all makes sense. The solo rules are outlined in the rulebook on Take the Kingdom. As I say, this is on Kickstarter at the moment in March 2021. And if you're watching it after that time, then please come and check it out on walnutgames.co.uk. And if you have any questions, please get in touch with those means as well. Thanks very much for watching.